What if I were to tell you that the biggest health concern of our time is also the simplest for us to solve? The answers are all around us and we don't have to look far. We've seen that many of our chronic health imbalances stem from a lack of connection to the natural world. And so it's been coined that nature deficit disorder is actually the basis of so much of our imbalance in this world. From mental health to social awkwardness to out of alignment way of being to scatteredness, ADD, to tension, to stress, to chronic inflammation, to physically lack of energy and depression. So much of the things we face in this world right now could be easily solved if we were just to connect deeper with the natural world. It's estimated that 90% of Canadians don't get outside more than 10% of their day, as well as 1.1 million of us are vitamin D deficient. Most children don't get enough physical exercise. Somewhere around like 80% of us are missing out on an experiential reality of really tangibly touching in to our five senses because we're not out connecting with the natural world. Studies have shown that children, when in front of screens for more than 40 hours a week, start to develop smaller cones and rods in their eyes. They actually don't develop long vision unless they get outside and actually get that kind of perspective. So these are just a few of the reasons to get outside, but there's so much more. So I want to take a moment to just break down some of the reasons why you need to get outside, teach your children how to get outside more often, and just make this a big part of our ritual and our daily lives. Where nature deficit disorder is the biggest concern is with our children. We're seeing more and more screen time in every household around the planet, but particularly here in Canada, I see that this is how we socialize now. This is how we connect in so many ways. And so where this becomes a problem is that it brings us out of our body. And so many children are not actually getting the type of exercise they need. When children have unstructured time outside in nature, it helps them problem solve better. It reduces their anxiety. It supports their ability to socialize and to organize and self-organize. We see that kids with ADD who have a hard time focusing in the classroom actually become leaders when they get outside in a group of children and actually strive to become their best selves and enact this. This helps with so much of our long-term health needs, especially when it comes to our mental health. Studies have shown that children who spend more time in nature are less stressed out, they're happier, they are more confident, they have less tension and anxiety and ADD tendencies. We also see physically that their immune systems are stronger. They develop less chronic imbalances as they age. Their motor coordination skills are far more developed. Their ability to understand risk management and ID and long-term thinking are helped by the time they spend in nature. There are so many benefits to spending time in nature. The list could go on and on. So the real question is, how do we start to engage more with the natural world? How do we make this part of our practice? And how do we lure our children off the screens and get them outside? Well, that's just it. It's actually finding activities. It's up to parents. It's up to those of us who have a keen desire to connect and understand that some of these benefits are there to build those neural pathways in our youth, but also in ourselves. We need to train ourselves. It's like a muscle. That means every day getting out for 5 minutes. And you don't have to get into a natural park like I'm in now, just getting into a city park. Help green up those parks, clean up those parks, take time to restore those places and appreciate them. So that's just one of the things we can do, is to actually just help green up our cities by appreciating the green spaces and supporting them. Also, create games outside. It's really easy to build a practice of playing basketball, getting outside and doing other sports, whether even it's just like skiing or snowboarding, if you can do those, running, jogging, biking, you name it. There's many things we can do. It's about building and engaging in those practices. Another one is to like put down our electronic leashes for a period of time. Actually put them on, as I like to say, alpine mode, and get outside, turn it all off, and allow yourself to just breathe in all of this goodness. Because these benefits will support all the chronic imbalances in our life, they give us more antioxidants, they support our immune system, and all these things I've been mentioning, it's up to us to make this part of our goal to a healthier, more vibrant life for ourselves and for all of our children and our society around us. The reason I am so passionate about this is because I realize that until we take this step of actually spending more time in nature, we are going to be fundamentally broken, both mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and for sure physically. How can we expect to make the changes that we know are possible and that our hearts call for on this world if we don't take this first step with ourselves? All right, so spend a bit more time in nature. Remember that nature deficit disorder is the #1 cause of most of the chronic imbalances of our time, and that sitting is the new smoking. All right, see you soon.